Well, hello and welcome everyone to the one, the only, the Fan Show. I'm your host as always, the T-Man, Richard T-Man. And yes, do not adjust your sets if you're watching us on YouTube. This is, well, it's the early stages of a new setup. And so we're going to bring back the OG style Fan Show. School's over, and so the coaches show is no longer being done until next year. We might do some things at the block again, but we're in the studio for Real Country 104.3, who replays the coaches show and will now replay episodes of the Fan Show. So early phases of getting this room right, but we're back and we've got a lot of fun stuff going on. First and foremost, it's episode 505, and we're welcoming Kassie Dixon. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me. And 505, that is amazing.
Yes, it probably would have been more. We took some breaks, obviously, because of, COVID and then the news job and all that good stuff. So, yeah, 505 of these.
Well, yeah, thank you, though, for having me. Thank you.
I figured bringing back the Fan Show without a coach's show would be a good opportunity to not have to wait so long to talk to some of the coaches, which it's crazy. Spoiler alert, Kassie was hired as the official girls basketball head coach for the Great Falls High Lady Bison. I will admit I am going to miss Jerry. He's one of the funniest dudes. In fact, one of the best coaches show moments of all time, hands down. We do the fishing for compliments with coach, where I have a fish bowl and they have to get the magnetic fish out, and each one has a number on it.
Yeah.
And on that number, and then I have a key matches that number. And that's a question about, he has to give a compliment to the players that we're interviewing on the show based on whatever it is. So it could be personality, it could be just their looks, their style, their skills, or, the coach's choice. And he got one right away. And he's like, no, I don't want that one. He doesn't know what they are. But he's like, I don't want that one, and threw it back. It's the first time, only time a coach has ever done that. So Jerry will be missed. But, those are some shoes to fill. And so I think before we get into that, though, we would have had to wait until winter sports season to get to really know you if we did the coaches show format. So here we are, and we're going to talk to you. But, I mean, who is Kassie Dixon? What's it like to be you right now?
Pretty ordinary. I am not special at all, but I'm a teacher at Great Falls High, so we're wrapping up with that. And I'm very dedicated to my teaching. I teach biology, anatomy and physiology, and calculus. And so I take care of everyone from sophomores to seniors, and that's kind of what I'm like. That's my identity right now as a teacher, wrapping up the summer.
Yes, teacher. They get into teaching for 3 reasons: June, July, and August.
Yeah.
Or at least that's what I've been told. So,
yeah.
But now with this, I mean, you've been coaching before, but I mean, I always, talk to the new coaches about how it doesn't matter how long you've been with the program. You now have, that's head coach's problem. That's your problem now,
Yeah.
So has the preparation began, or like, what does your summer look like now?
Yeah, so as soon as I got it a couple of weeks ago, I mean, it's just been like full steam ahead. And I coached under Jerry. I don't know if like everyone knows that. I was a freshman coach for the past 4 years. And obviously the freshman coach doesn't have a lot of responsibilities, right? And Jerry was amazing. He would kind of show me how things would work. But we're right now just trying to keep it somewhat the same. So it's a gradual transition for the girls, because Jerry is amazing. He's going to be missed. And so we're doing open gyms about the same time. I already worked with Coach Cheetah, who's another amazing coach I know you work with. He's going to help us with our lifting times. And then we've scheduled out every weekend in June for tournaments.
Wow, that's impressive. So just as quickly as school is now over, it starts right back over again for you as far as the coaching aspect goes. Now, what little I know about you as far as your time before Great Falls High is that you are a Belt product, Belt America, Husky Nation, Belt alum. And I gotta say, in my brief time here, 4 years, they've got some dudes and dudettes there, like athlete wise. They've got some real talent. I don't know how they do it, but they've got some real talent. But above that has been just year after year of promising teams, from football to the both boys and girls basketball programs. And then track and field, they've got some incredible athletes as well. I mean, in your time there, was that still the norm, or is this a recent thing?
Yeah, so I graduated in 2017. And during my time there, I played with my sister, who was like amazing. She was a senior when I was a freshman, and my first state championship was with my sister. So we won state 2014, 16, and 17. And then my sophomore year, that's the year we don't talk about, but we got third. And this was all under Coach Graham. And Coach Graham, as you know, is like one of the most dedicated coaches I've ever came across.
I hear he's kind of a big deal.
Oh, yeah, he's amazing. He could run for like mayor in any town in Montana and get it, you know?
And trust me, I get so jealous that I was not around to see the Graham era of Belt athletics, because even Matt Triplett, who has had that football team consistently at a championship level, gives so much credit to Graham, especially for that first championship, because he's like, it was his team. I just led them there, to the promised land. But then he's still been able to do it. So clearly, Matt knows what he's doing as well. But everywhere I go, if somebody knows of Belt, or obviously now Tech, they know Graham. And I've loved getting to know him, because he was one of the first coaches I ever met when I got here. I covered state, B&C, track and field. Couldn't have been a nicer guy. We've kept in contact ever since. Every time I see him, whether it's here and Tech is playing, UP, or I go to Tech or somewhere and they're playing, always says hello, asks how I'm doing, chalks it up with me for a little bit. But I mean, it's just, I'm jealous. I didn't get to see the greatness at the high school level that is Coach Graham.
Oh, he had a dynasty, and he's one of those coaches that, I mean, he was hard on us. Like, we needed to have those talks and stuff like that. But he was always the first person to give you a hug when you did something well. He would get really excited and big high five. And, he would just, of course, jump on the sidelines, and he was your biggest cheerleader at the same time. And so, yeah, he was always correcting us and critiquing us, but he did a really good job of supporting us and giving us a lot of confidence in that, which is something that's really rare.
So one of the first things, because there was a signing that happened shortly after your announcement. And so I'm there, and the usual suspects, the coaches like Carranza and Cheetah are there. Yeah. And so I'm just like, so Kassie, and they're like, yeah, man, it's going to be a good fit. I said, well, she's so passionate about her freshman. I mean, it makes sense. I think she'll be a great fit. I don't know much more about her coaching wise. And Cheetah goes, she's a Graham product. She'll be fine. Without missing a beat. And it's just crazy to me that there are certain names within communities that hold that much legacy and weight and just, they're synonymous with certain programs. So does that add weight to the shoulders, or is that a point of pride for you to be a Graham product?
I think I'm very prideful of it. I bring it up when I can. I name drop. I do. Because he's amazing.
As you should.
Yeah, he is. I carried a lot of his philosophy into college basketball and to my coaching, as well as Jerry's coaching. He's just amazing. He's a great mentor, and each coach that I come across has just added to my profile of what basketball is supposed to be. And he's, of course, been a great first chapter, or one of the first. I guess my dad would be my first chapter. So.
Well, I do love the programs that promote within, I guess is the best way to put it. It makes sense, especially at the high school level. You're not a college program. There's no need to go out and get a hired gun and tear it up for a year and, Mod Podge a whole bunch of players together to try to make a championship team. I think if they know the state, they know the city, the community, even better. So for you, I think it's a great fit. I know that within each program, the assistants and so forth, there's no shortage. And it's crazy to me, though, I was also telling Cheetah is that in my 4 years here, there's only, I think, 6 or 7 head coaches left that were here when I started. Now, you can't count baseball because we just got baseball. Yeah. But Mac is walking away from swimming. So there's one. And that should technically be 4, because there's boys, girls, 2 schools. But, so there's one. But really, it's you're filling the void of 4. And then you have Vining is stepping away from basketball. So Sislo is going to be the only one left. Love Sislo. but Jerry and Howard, they're both gone. And I saw, Howard's coming. I was like, he's probably in the end of it. I feel so bad that his last was probably the worst year that he maybe has had in the whole program.
Yeah.
And then softball, we've got Coach Rob now, who had an okay year. I think he knows what needs to be improved on, for next. And then football, yeah, it was Morris, and now it's Wilson. Cheetah's still there, and both wrestling coaches, they're still there.
Yeah.
And even Carranza was just like, yeah, when Max said he was walking away, I had to be like, wait, how long have I been here? It's like, don't leave, please. You're one of the ones I like. Please don't leave ever. So is it weird to see so many new faces around,
Yeah, I guess I'm relatively new. And so like Coach Killian for volleyball, she was just such a good natural fit for that. So I guess maybe it isn't because I am relatively new enough. It is kind of weird because I grew up with like Coach Howard being at Great Falls High because I was about Husky, but I had a lot of like Great Falls High friends. And so that was kind of weird. But I think Eric Sean's doing a great job.
Yes.
He is like kind of reminds me a little bit of Graham too. And it is kind of weird, but like that was like when I was little, like I think Coach Mack was there when I was little, Steen was there when I was little, right? All those people were there when I was like growing up. And now that I'm an adult now, I think it's like natural to have this transition of everyone slowly aging out. So
yeah, it's an interesting term for it, the aging out, because I think you're right. Where I come from, which is Spokane, you basically you had to be a teacher to be a coach. And I was told the other day, because I was like, the tennis coaches, they don't teach, the soccer, they definitely don't teach, but it's been like a different soccer coach for both programs, every year, which is crazy. But, I thought, some of them, that was a bold choice because if you're already coaching club, which consumes so much of your time in life, like why would you want to go right into fall sport, because you're coming off summer, now you're going right into a full fall sport. But to each their own. If you love it, you love it. But there's certain coaches that are not teachers, and I guess what I've found out is that if they limited themselves to that criteria, they may not get applicants, which is crazy to me. I mean, you're already at the school all day long. If you're even interested in a sport, why not, pass on knowledge?
Yeah.
Just
and I come from Belt, right?
Yeah.
We're like the Dallas Cowboys. Like we have so many coaches on the sidelines because everyone, that's just the community mentality. And I think we're blessed with the coaches that we have at Great Falls High. I think they're just the best fit for who they are and for who the program is. But yeah, it is a little bit different in the communities, even though they're separated 16 miles apart. But yeah, it is funny. You look at the Belt sideline, and we always joke about that. My dad and I do. But that community is very blessed about very passionate people. And I'm just happy about the coaches that we have at Great Falls High because everyone is. They're just great fit. They are excited about kids. They want to uplift kids. And that's what you want in coaches. So.
Well, I know for you, you're going to see all of them next year, but are you going to miss the freshman coaching aspect of it? Because it is kind of like your own squad, right?
Yeah.
Like that's how it works with freshmen.
Jerry was great. He was like, hey, this is your team, run it how you want it. And that really helped me become more comfortable with coaching rather than just playing college, because that's a lot different. I found that out the hard way.
Of course, yeah.
And I am going to miss it. Freshman is so fun because you just see such a growth.
Oh,
right?
For sure, yeah.
It's not about the wins and losses. It's just about the growth, right? Whereas when you're at the varsity level, it does become about the wins and losses a little bit more. So I am going to miss the innocence at the freshman level because they would do some of the funniest things. I have such great stories about them. And I probably shouldn't say this, otherwise they're going to kill me. But like, I have so many good stories of my freshmen. And they're just goofy.
Save them all up for the winter coaches show when you're on there, because we will have so much fun with that, because they'll probably be in attendance.
Yeah,
so we'll put a pin in that for next time. But yes, I will not forget, because I do love a good story. But one thing I will say is don't lose that though, because trust me, I've seen some teams where I walk away from a game or something and I just go, did they not learn the fundamentals? I don't think at high school you can ever really stop teaching the fundamentals of the game. Like, I think that's
Yeah.
kind of what high school is there for, because
Yeah.
I'll go to a game at Carroll, right, and watch incredible athleticism between four teams, girls, boys, and then whoever they're playing. And then, the next day or a couple of days later, I'll come to a high school game and it's very different.
Yeah.
You saw a person 48 hours prior nail nothing but threes from anywhere on the court. And some of these high school kids are struggling just to get a layup in, it
Yeah.
goes 5 minutes scoreless or 2-0. And so I think you really have to appreciate where you are when it comes to high school sports, and not
Yeah.
forget that you're there to build them into what they could become.
Yeah, it truly is amateur sports, right?
Yeah.
And I love it. It's because at the end of the day, is everyone going to be a college athlete? No, but hopefully they've learned the life lessons of how to work hard, how to persevere, and that's really what high school sports is about. Because when you get to college, and I love playing college basketball, but when you get to college, it becomes a little bit more of a job. And it shouldn't be a job at a high school level. It should be something that you're doing with your buddies. You're staying out of trouble. You're just playing basketball. It's the good old days, right? And that is the one nice thing about like coaching freshmen. Some of them were just purely there to hang out with their buddies, and I was a-okay with that because they walked away better human beings too. They learned a lot of good life lessons from it. So, and yeah, that probably won't change from freshman to varsity. Yeah.
Well, again, this is the Fan Show presented by Northwestern Mutual. Almost forgot to squeeze that in there. Thank you, Doug Mercado. And we're sitting down with new Lady Bison head basketball coach, Kassie Dixon. So now for some of the fun stuff here. This was going to be a deck of cards, but it's going to be an app for this time and this time only. So I wanted to kind of mix things up and have us choose from what was going to be a deck to now a wheel for different categories, and then kind of ask each other questions based on whatever that category is.
Okay.
So
yeah.
On the wheel right here, we have everything from movies to birds to flowers, sports, drinks, fruits, all that. So we're going to spin this one and okay, movies. So we can do this one of two ways. What's a movie that you'll never grow out of? And then are there any movie quotes that you yourself live by, or that you find yourself sneaking into those coach talks?
Yeah. Okay. A movie I'll never grow out of. That would be It's a Wonderful Life.
Really?
I just love that movie. My grandpa used to watch it with us like every Christmas. We'd watch it on his birthday. And so that's just like a good feeling movie. Plus, like, Jimmy Stewart is just amazing. I love him. But that is just a good message, a good movie to have. And what's yours?
Ooh, me? Let's see. I think it's got to be like a top 3 almost. But I will say that there are certain movies that will get played on network TV constantly. And if I was just channel flipping and landed on it, I wouldn't change it. And usually that's Back to the Future.
That's a good one.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World is another great one, but just because I appreciate all the humor in it.
Yeah.
As both a musician and a huge gaming nerd, that grew up as a 90s kid. And yeah, I think those are definitely 2 big ones right now. So yeah, and then I don't know, movie quotes. There's so many. I mean, I grew up in the era of Wedding Crashers, Anchorman, and Old School, and so I will say, and I'm proud to admit this, that the 60% of the time it works every time. In sports, oh my God, that's gold.
Yeah,
like
we say that all the time on the bench. We do. Like, you see Matt Willis and I talking, and you could be like, what are they saying? Probably something from Anchorman or Dumb and Dumber. Yeah.
But I think one of my all-time, and I don't even know why, this is definitely a sleeper pick for like one of my all-time favorite quotes, and it's from Scott Pilgrim, and it's when he stands up and yells, "You cocky cock, you'll pay for your crimes against humanity." It's like such a solid line. His delivery is amazing, and so I'll find myself saying that every now and then, but that's just how life is. So I do encourage people that if they have quotes that live just rent free, just throw them in a coach's speech every once in a while. Just see.
All my past players are like, "You sound like Ted Lasso," and I go, "I'll take that as a compliment."
That is a solid
Yeah.
quote inspiration
Yeah.
series.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or maybe they're like, "You know nothing," like how he knows nothing about soccer. But yeah, that's what a lot of my players.
All right, it's spinning.
But yeah, my quotable movies: Ace Ventura and Dumb and Dumber.
Yes.
Animals.
Okay.
I always ask my kids weird questions. So if you could, what's your spirit animal and why?
So my spirit animal, I want to say cat because we have 3, right? And we've had 4 before, and I just relate to them so much. There's so much I want attention, but on my terms kind of thing, right? They live the best life, which is just they sleep whenever. They poop in boxes, and they get fed gourmet food practically. So, I think deep down in my heart of hearts, it's probably a cat. But I don't know if I'm gonna feel a bit more inspirational and ambitious, I would say probably a bear because they're so well respected, right? But they also get to sleep during the worst parts of the year, which is the deep snow and the cold. So I wouldn't mind that life.
Yeah, that would be bad.
Yeah. What about for you? Do you have one?
Well, it's funny. Like on my phone, every morning I have like a message that says, "I am a golden retriever. I am loyal. I'm compassionate, and I'm excitable." Like I just want to be that charismatic person that just has like goldenness about them and just happy all the time, because you don't have to be happy all the time. But when I look at my golden retriever at home, I should feel some type of connection to him. And I think if you're just genuine, right, like the little golden, right, they have like no filter. Like you can tell when my dog is judging you, right? If I live that way, I think people will open up around you. And so I love golden retrievers. So that's my spirit animal.
I think secretly another one for me would have to be like a gerbil or hamster, but it has to be one, and this is why, with one of those elaborate setups where they've got like the tunnels connecting like all these different areas, and then like 3 different size wheels and whatever else. Because I worked at the pet store for a bit, so I know what I'm talking about. But it's just the one hamster, but you have this whole setup like as if they're going to host company someday and have like a sleepover. And so I feel like I'm this hamster sometimes in my day-to-day with covering sports, that I have all this stuff I have to do, and it's just me at the end of the day that's going to run through the tubes, that's going to hit the wheel. Oh, don't forget about this. I got to eat and drink in between, and then I'm coming back through. So sometimes very much I can relate to a hamster gerbil.
Yeah, I feel that too. Sometimes when you're teaching, you're like, man, I'm on this wheel and I'm going so hard and I'm getting nowhere. And sometimes it does feel like that. I feel that. I can feel that.
Yeah. I think that's a very underappreciated possibility for a spirit animal. All right, let's see what the next one is. This will be our last one before we wrap things up. Let's see. It says colors, but food's right above it. So let's go ahead and do foods. It sounds more entertaining. So what's your go-to? What's like when you're just having an off day and you're like, I need food to make me feel better? What's the go-to?
I love noodles. And I have like a noodle maker at home, and I'll sit there and I'll make my own noodles and like roll it out. I love noodles. Like I'm taking a student trip to Italy and France with all these students at the end of July. And I signed them up for that because I was like, noodles, man. Like carbs. I just love noodles. Yeah. How about for you?
So noodles definitely strikes a chord. I am a person who it's all like, you can never go wrong with a good burger. Like I had a Whopper with cheese last night. Sometimes like you just have to, do it. But if I have all possibilities at my disposal, I'll usually pick a place that's got really good pasta. Or if we go to Missoula, we hit up the mall because they've got Noodle Express and they have their shrimp miso soup, which is so good. So there's that. Shrimp pasta is definitely a top one. But really, I discovered sushi probably about 12 years ago. And there are certain rolls that it's like, you know the place, what their rolls are, and you can just order one of those without hesitation and just plow through it. Like sushi, man. Like that's,
I would. So my Finnish teammates from college, we would go to Albertsons and get our sushi rolls when we wanted to feel fancy. And like, I can't have a lot of shellfish. I'm really allergic, but like, I love like the salmon sushi roll. That's great. Like the poke bowls. Yeah. I've never been brave enough to have the little octopus looking things. So
neither have I. And it's funny because we're friends with a family back in Spokane who he's a head engineer for a big company, and so he travels all over the place, and one of the places is obviously over in Asian culture, Japan, Korea, all that stuff. So he'll eat what he calls real sushi, where I eat what he dubs American sushi, which I take offense to, first of all. But I'm looking over the menu and I can see what he means, because a lot of my stuff is not raw. It's not deep fried, but it's cooked, and the way that it's put together is very good, where he's just like, if you want real sushi, as he calls it, then it's the uncooked, it's got the black wrap on it, and it's all this. And he's like, and it's made by people that are from there. And it's like, okay, well, you have a good point there. But, I think it's like the argument of pineapple on pizza. Some people say that that's real pizza or it's not, pizza.
Are you a pineapple person?
I am very much so.
A pineapple on pizza person. Yeah.
I'm a pineapple on almost everything person. Like if we're going to get down to, if I could go anywhere in the country, whatever place has the best island burger kind of thing. So Burger Bunker's a good one.
Yeah.
But the best one, oddly enough, when my wife and I started dating, her dad managed a bowling alley down in Hermiston, Oregon. And on the menu was a teriyaki ham pineapple burger. And it was so freaking good.
Really good.
Like, so yeah.
Like cream cheese on it?
This one didn't have cream cheese on it. It had, the teriyaki sauce was the sauce. But, you have your burger patty, you have your Swiss cheese, because trust me, the type of cheese matters in that. And then you have your ham slice on top of that. Pineapple ring on top of that, and then drizzled in teriyaki sauce. So good. Like, I can't even begin to.
That's like making me hungry. I'm gonna have to eat before open gym now.
That's why I said this is gonna be the last question. We're gonna talk about food. So 3 months ahead of you, of course, everybody's got camps and everybody's got whatever when it comes to sports. That's why Cheetah was saying, if you wanted to do the coaches show over the summer, you could, because we're all going to be around doing our stuff. So I said, okay, we'll think about it. But I mean, do you have plans? Like, do you have time? Like, are you gonna enjoy summer maybe?
Yeah, so I'm actually finishing up my master's right now.
Okay.
And so I'm not working a summer job just to get that done. And like I said, I'm taking a student trip. Taking 24 students with my husband overseas to Italy and France. So that's going to be about 9 days. And then when we get back, my husband's going to do timber framing school in Maine.
Oh, okay.
And so we literally land from one day, and then the next day we fly over to Maine. And he was sitting there. He was like, I need help with the trig. And I teach calculus. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can nerd out with you. And like, this is so exciting. And plus we can go to Maine. And so that's my 2 vacations. And then other than that, it's like I said, schooling, basketball. And then I think I'm going to go and get EMT certified, because Belt kind of needs more of those people, and I just want to help. And so,
I gotta get back out to Belt this summer, because I always hear about the great fishing, hiking, and all that. Now I'm terrified of rattlesnakes. Like, I don't want to come across one ever, because I'll freak out. But and then of course my wife is just like, I want to see a bear. I was just like, what do you mean when you say that? And she's like, well, I keep seeing videos of people, driving around and there's just like a bear off the side of the road. I was like, okay, you want to encounter, you want to drive by bear. Like, you don't want to be out camping and then all of a sudden
become a bear burrito.
you hear a branch break and you're like, what was that? So,
and I'll show you the video. My parents actually had a bear walk like really close to them, and they live on Bell Creek. And so they're in the high woods, they're in the little belts. So she wants to go and see a bear to go hike it.
There was a skit at my youth group called Look, There's a Bear. And so every time somebody says that they've seen a bear, they want to see a bear or whatever, it's bear season, I always think of that skit. It's just so funny. I'm like, look, there's a bear. Where? Over there. But it's that's part of the beauty and sort of the mystique about living in Montana, is that you can encounter things like that literally anywhere. I almost ran over deer coming from the block. I was going down one of the roads, and they're just in the neighborhood,
they're just hanging
around. Yeah. I'm like, okay, like, I don't know how you got here, but you should probably find your way back. A lot of them during the early winter and late winter would be running through Centene area and the golf course and just kind of made that their home. And then when golfers started to show up, they were still just like, I don't care. Like,
it was a pretty nice.
I was here first. Like, get out of here. Well, I'm excited for your inaugural season. Like I always joke, anybody that's been promoted from an assistant or another grade level coach that, I live by the philosophy of if it's Friday and something needs sorted out, I tell myself that sounds like a Monday problem. So for assistant coaches, that sounds like a head coach problem. You are now the head coach, so it's all your problem.
Yeah, there's times I've been telling, I told Jerry, he's like, I got so much to do, and I'm like, man, that's tough. Let me know what I can do. And Jerry's so nice. He would just be like, oh, I got this. And now I'm like, oh, Jerry's not here. Like,
you're like, oh, what a drag, man. Well, I'm out. I'll catch you next time.
Yeah, and there's just it's just a lot of little things that add up. And I mean, you know that. Just
for sure.
Like the hamster thing, right? It's just
the hamster thing. Yeah.
Adds up. And so, yeah, it's a really good analogy. I like that.
We're going to bring hamster appreciation and awareness one talk at a time. All right. Well, thank you so much again, Kassie Dixon, for joining us here. I wish you the best of luck in the upcoming year and season. It's still a ways away, but we'll have you back for the coaches show and we'll have the real fun then. So make sure you got all those memories and moments nice and fresh.
Oh yeah, still trash.
We'll embarrass some kids while we're having fun. But this has been another episode of the F.A.N Show, and we are going to be doing this all summer long with a variety of guests. So thank you again, Kassie Dixon, and we will see you next time.